2024. We're going to do a quick recap of this year because it's been full on. It's felt like we've had many different lives or years all within 1 year. So backing it all the way up to the beginning of 2024, we spent the New Year's in Bogota, Colombia.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Then we crossed over into Venezuela, which was so pretty.
Hola, bienvenidos a Venezuela!
They have such a beautiful terrain, like they've got so many beautiful mountains, and I had no idea that it looked like Switzerland. It was so pretty.
And where in Venezuela were we?
We were in a mountainous, smaller town of
Merida.
And did you guys feel safe?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it felt really
it was
safe.
really nice.
It's one of those countries people will warn you to go to, but we felt completely safe. We crossed by foot from Colombia into Venezuela.
And today we're entering country 137, Venezuela!
And the people are so nice.
It
They're
was
very friendly.
awesome. From there, we went all the way to Cuba.
Hola, bienvenidos a Cuba!
Cuba was amazing. It was our very first experience. We had so much fun. We did an amazing tour and went around in the cars, and it was just like the real typical Cuban experience. And then after that, where did we go?
After that, we went on a long haul flight all the way to Amsterdam, where we stayed a few nights before going to Erbil, Iraq. And we did like crazy mad rush because we went to Amsterdam, spent a few days. Then we went to Erbil and we did overnight buses, overnight planes. It was chaos.
I think didn't we do like how many overnight?
So in a matter of like 12
like
days.
4 days we didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was one of these like.
We went to Turkey, then we took a bus all the way through Erbil, and it was like a long bus.
But like backing it up from when we left Venezuela, that's kind of when the whole overnight journey started, because to go there, we went to Santa Marta in Colombia. That was a cool city right on the, ocean. It was really hot. And then we did the, overnight to Cuba, overnight to cross, and then so it was a lot.
I'm just like so done. It's one of those done with travel days. And then after that, after Erbil, Iraq, we went to.
But what was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. It was really cool. It was like felt like the
And
the
in
beginning of
Erbil,
time.
if you look at it on Google Maps, it's actually pretty cool. The whole city is in a circle on the map.
And we gotta clarify because people will be
We're
like,
really
it's not
squished.
Iraq. People are gonna be like, it's not Iraq. No, it's Iraqi Kurdistan. So it's like their whole separate area. They've got their own, army, government, all that, different like visa process. So we were in Iraq, but in a sub area, Iraqi Kurdistan.
Yep.
And what did we see there? Well, there's Citadel. We went to a bazaar.
A massive canyon. It was gorgeous. It was
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. The scenery was really, really stunning. That was fun.
Yeah.
Then after Erbil, we flew all the way to Lebanon, and Lebanon was so cool. And I have to say, Lebanese food is now my top 5 favorites. It's so good. And the Lebanese love their food. Like, we had friends there from church, and we'd go around, and they said all they do is eat. They eat, and it's so good. Like the hummus and like the falafel and all that. It's so yummy. Beirut is a big city, but they also have the quaint Byblos, which is a really old town, and it's so cool to walk around and see everything.
People were saying like, oh yeah, I'm descendant of like Noah's son, this
Yeah.
one. And they knew all the way to that date, and we're like, how?
Then after that, we went to Syria. So we crossed over the mountain pass. What was it like?
Oh, okay, so we went on an amazing 5-day tour, and it felt safe because we were with a tour, and we saw Damascus, which is an ancient city. It was like walking through a movie scene. The first day we did the tour, we went and did karaoke at a bar. So it was like, whoa, like what? That was really fun. We tried raw meat for the first time in Syria. Then we went to a city called Bosra, where we saw this Roman amphitheater, and it was so well preserved. Then we went to Malula, which is where they speak Aramaic, the language Jesus spoke.
Which is crazy.
And our last stop was Homs, which was a city that was devastatingly destroyed during the war. So that was really interesting to see as well.
Yeah. Okay, then from there, we took a shuttle and we got a ride all the way to Jordan.
Yep.
And what was Jordan like?
We spent the first few days in Amman and toured around there, which was nice. And then we rented a car and we drove all the way down the country. So we went to Petra, we went to the desert, we went to see the Dead Sea, we went to see everything. And it was fascinating. Like at Petra, it's like you always see the small treasury and the tombstones, but you don't see how big it is. So when you go there in person, we spent a whole day just seeing everything. It was just fascinating.
Then we went down over to the desert, and it was like where they film all the movies and stuff, and it's just like the biggest desert ever, and everybody there, like all the locals, they just know everything. They could walk with their eyes closed and know where they're going. It's just crazy.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
From there, Julia and I went to a quick business event up in Germany. Then we came back and we met the family in
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
But wait, we went to Berlin. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. And not
For
only
the first
that,
time.
Yeah, we were
went
in
out,
Berlin.
We went out clubbing.
Clubbing and everything. That was
Really
really
fun.
fun. And then we reunited with the family in
In
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi,
Dubai.
but really short. And then we went all the way to Turkey, right?
Yep.
And in the UAE, we actually crossed 3 times this year as a transit spot. So we'd go
Yeah.
there for a week, then
Kind of like the hub that we kept going through.
Yeah. To
fly
Just
for
like
a
Turkey
year,
is
no?
kind of a good hub. We love going back to Turkey, and we
Yes.
often will go through. And this time we visited Antalya, Ankara, and another city. I forget Izmir, which is
Yeah.
more like no real
Rustic,
tourists.
yeah.
But it was really cool. We went through the markets. We had a lot of fun, and it was just awesome.
Antalya was a
Beautiful.
beautiful city.
They've made all these beautiful walkways
Yeah.
along the waterfront, and we loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So from Turkey, we went to Azerbaijan.
I'd like to welcome you to Baku, Azerbaijan.
Country 142.
Now, Azerbaijan and Armenia are 2 countries we've been wanting to get to for a while, and we finally made it this year, and it's so exciting because Azerbaijan is on the Black Sea? No, the Caspian Sea. Yes, it's on the Caspian
right.
Sea. We've never seen that up close. And Azerbaijan is where oil originated from, so like they had like the flame towers, and Baku, their capital, felt like a mixture of multiple cities within one. Like their mall was like the Sydney Opera House, and then they had this and that, and it was beautiful actually.
Kind of like a European downtown.
feel,
It was
yeah.
really well kind of designed.
and the buildings were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, we went and we crossed the border, and it's like a one-way border. You can go in, but you can't go out kind of thing. And that was into Georgia. And that was just kind of like a pass-through because we had visited Georgia already, but it was really nice. And then we stayed a few days still, got some stuff done, enjoyed their food. And then we went up towards Armenia. What was that like?
Armenia is so pretty. Again, they have so many beautiful mountains all across their country. And the city was really nice too, of Yerevan. You can go up the staircases to get a really nice viewpoint of the whole city. And their food was good too. We were surprised. It was very like homey kind of food, like really yummy like meats and potatoes, yeah, and like different cheeses. It was really good. Yeah.
And what mountains did you see there?
Oh yes. So Noah's Ark, where they say it was like placed, like where
Where it
Noah's Ark
landed?
stayed, where it landed. There's like the crevice of it. That mountain is called
Arat.
Arat. Arat.
The Arat Mountains,
Arat,
yeah.
You can see them. So you can technically see into Turkey because that's Turkish.
They're connected.
there.
And another fascinating thing is we went to a cathedral where I think it was the first cathedral or something like that, but they had a piece of Jesus's cross there as
The
well.
spear.
Yes,
They had the
spear.
spear.
It's the
that-
first Catholic church in the whole world. Did you know that Armenians were the first Christians?
Country
Fun
to
fact.
adopt Christianity.
Christianity
yeah.
as a religion.
Yeah. Okay, and then from there, we made our way all the way to India. Now, here we went, and it was to Kolkata, and it was 40 degrees or more. It was so flippin' hot, and we enjoyed it, actually. We actually went through the streets and did a few things, but from there, we went up to Darjeeling, and that's where, if you didn't know, there's a special tea that's from Darjeeling. I never knew that. And then now I've read it in books. I'm like, oh, that's where it's from. But anyway, it's kind of cool. It was beautiful mountainous area. We didn't see the Himalayas like in a distance because it wasn't clear enough. It was foggy, but if you were there on a clear day, you would have this most amazing view. Anyway, it was
And the
it was
people
fun.
are so unique because
Yes.
they're a blend of North Indians are very different to the south, of course. And they're also, because they're beside Tibet, China, they have a weird different blend where it's like Chinese Indian looking people.
Almost like you feel like you're in Southeast Asia, seeing
Kinda,
like
yeah.
Indonesian, Philippines, but you're in India.
They're really friendly.
And we were on the east side, and the people didn't even really like, you know, we went to India before and they were asking for selfies all the time. Here it was different. They didn't really ask you for that many selfies.
Yeah, the culture changes completely.
Yeah. And the
So-
temperature was cooler.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. And then from there, we went over to the border of Bhutan to a place
Yeah.
called Jaigon. And then we crossed into Bhutan, the
Bhutan.
kingdom of Bhutan. Like this was like crazy.
Actually, describe
Yeah,
it.
describe it.
So when you went to Bhutan, it's kind of like you stepping back into the past because everyone was wearing their traditional clothing and everything is like it's preserved. It's really well preserved. So what we did there is we went through 3 different cities, and it was mostly a lot of driving, and then you stay at the night, and then we toured the morning of, and we would go see many beautiful temples. We went to see the what's the hike called?
With the tiger's
Tiger's
nest.
Nest hike. We went to do the tiger's nest. We went to eat local food, and it was just
And when you see that video come out, one thing you won't know is that we were deathly sick. But because Bhutan is like a country that you have to pay your daily entry fee, and we had this tour organized, we could not change the dates. And it was like running a marathon. Like, it's one of the hardest things I think we've ever done in all of our travels.
Yeah.
the time
Because
frame too.
the altitude, the fact that we were sick,
And you're driving on windy roads while being car sick.
and hiking at 3,000 meters. I
it
mean,
was tough, but we made it through.
we did it.
And it was beautiful.
And when you see the video, you're gonna be
landscapes.
like, wow, that was really nice. It looked like you guys were great. Well, maybe you'll know, but anyway, I don't think so. It was awesome though. It was still amazing. And then from there, we came back to India, and then we were trying to cross over into Bangladesh. But what we didn't realize is when we got to the border, we weren't able to get in because
was
it's
only
only
Indians.
for locals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Indians of Bangladesh.
yeah.
So we
so
ended
we ended up going.
to Siliguri, another city
Yeah.
in India, passing through there. It was very much local life, but it was fun.
And then we flew
To
Dhaka.
Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dhaka.
And then in Dhaka, it was awesome actually. It was such a busy city,
But
but
like,
the people were so nice.
they
Nobody
were so
like
friendly.
no one bothered you. They were just
Yeah.
really sincerely happy to have you there. They weren't pushy. They weren't trying to sell you anything. And
Yeah.
it was amazing.
The other amazing thing about Bangladesh is I bet you if you check your clothing right now, look at the tag, you'll see that it's from Bangladesh. And it's because Bangladesh is really one of the biggest producers of clothing, like H&M, North Face, Colombia, all the brands. They make them all there. So you can go to the little markets and you can be buying clothes from H&M and you're like, what?
And
it's so
it's-
cheap.
So busy, but it's a fun busy. Like, it's
It is,
so
yeah.
fun to walk the streets. Like, the first if you go too many times, it gets busy. But like old Dhaka, we would take the bicycle rickshaws. That was so much fun. It was the best way to get around.
I think even though it was so busy, it didn't feel overwhelming because
Yes.
people just
let you-
respected you,
yeah.
and so it was very actually pleasant. It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And one fascinating thing is everyone had like orange beards.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
never seen that before.
And hair. It was a fad.
The next country we went there expecting we'd spend a few weeks, but we ended up spending 6 months. This country is
Egypt!
Now, we started with the Nile River cruise, and that was amazing because it was 7 nights. We literally felt like we had finally a place for consistency for 1 week. We saw amazing.
Fascinating.
It
Absolutely
was.
fascinating.
We saw like Luxor Temple, Karnak Temple. They're like magnificent.
Big
Like,
temple.
yeah.
And if you do end up going to Egypt, yes, the pyramids are really cool to see, but if you want to see the real Egypt and get to know the history, definitely go down south and go to Luxor, go to the temples, because you get a feel for it. You even go to their tombs, you can walk into their tombs.
Yeah.
The Valley of the Kings.
It's so cool.
And we even saw Aswan, which is a very peaceful little quaint small town there.
It was amazing.
Yes.
A lot of mummies, like there was museums of mummies, museums of mummified crocodiles, like all these crazy
It's
things.
crazy when you go there and the history comes to life
Yeah.
and you see it. And I have to plug in that I'm actually doing tours to Egypt. So if you're interested at all, go over to Growing Up Without Borders. There's a whole page on our Egyptian tours and you can learn more there.
And so everyone thinks of Egypt as, like the pyramids, the history, but there's the whole modern side. So Cairo's their capital city. It's bustling, hustling. There's shopping malls, modern, everything you can think of, coffee shops. Like we were in this area called Madi where all the expats were. And it was really cool because you had international schools, coffee shops, the gyms, like
We actually had a
everything.
really good community going.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you must include is that the cost of living in Egypt is
Yeah, so
incredible. You can live really nice. Yeah, it's busy, it's crazy, and lots of stuff, but it's like part of the culture, right? It's part of the experience. So we did that. Then we discovered the North Coast, and the North Coast is like a whole other world of Egypt. So that's amazing too, right? Like
You'd think you're in the islands because the pristine white beach with the
It's on
turquoise
the
water.
Mediterranean, but like the water is crystal clear, see-through blue.
It's so
like you get in the
pretty.
Caribbean.
It's amazing. And then from there we also, so then we went to Rome. So the girls and I did a Rome trip by ourselves.
Girls trip.
That was cool. And then we came back and we discovered the Red Sea. And then we went back to Cairo. Cairo was kind of like our base for a while.
We had a big community. We had lots of friends.
Yeah.
You know, we did Halloween parties, Christmas parties, just living life.
We
for a
started
while.
getting into the groove, right?
Yeah.
And
And
then,
then in November we came back to
Canada! This is our home country. This is
Yeah,
where we
right.
are. We're in Canada right now. So
Yeah.
it was amazing. We were able to reunite with all of our family.
We've been
cousins.
spending so much time just.
It's been amazing because the girls have been on the move for so many years.
Yeah.
So to like have some stability of home base with our family has been incredible. And so, yeah, it's been a good, busy year and so
We're
much
excited
fun.
to see what 2025 brings.
Yes.
Us girls, like
We
my
got a
mom said.
country.
You forgot a country? Which one?
We went to the United States.
Oh.
We went across to go eat some Chick-fil-A, and we went
We
to a
came
shopping mall, but it was kind of a deadbeat shopping mall.
Yeah,
But
we went to
did
Hobby Lobby,
do-
got some Christmas gifts. But that's about
Okay,
it.
there's another. But anyway, we did do a quick
We
trip.
did do
yeah.
a trip there.
Yeah.
Day trip.
Day trip. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you guys.
Yeah, things are gonna be changing for 2025. Stay tuned. We've got lots of videos for you to see coming out of all this year. You'll have lots to enjoy.
We still have our backlog of videos,
Yeah.
so apologies there. We're still posting from a long
If you
time
go
ago,
to-
but
It's kind of tricky when you're traveling, trying to edit videos,
Yes.
upload on slow Wi-Fi, and
Yeah.
get it all done.
but we've been
If you-
persistent. So and our goal is to still upper it, but we'll see if we can get more out for you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you want to see more current, go check out our Instagram, TikTok. You can see videos from these countries or from Canada
Yes.
or from whatever. And yeah.
So happy New Year from our family to yours, and we'll
Yes.
see you in the next video.
Bye.